Good morning, UFM, the beat of the Pacific. It's your girl Mon, holding it down with you for your Sunday morning. It is your Sunday Flex show. If you're just tuning in, welcome to the show. Hope you're having a lovely Sunday wherever you are and whatever you may be doing. Coming up in this part of our show, it is the Niu Journeys segment. And on this, we have people in our community who come on and talk about their journey through life and how you journey to get to where you are today. And we are very, very lucky because this morning we are blessed and honored to have Mr. and Mrs. Alatini, Amber and Willis. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank
Now,
you for having us.
You're welcome. As a couple, your journey is something I have always been interested in. And I wanted to know basically how you do it all, you know, business, life, family, and at what point did you both decide to journey together into this space of health and fitness? So, yeah, I'm just going to give this to you guys to introduce yourselves. And, yeah.
Where do we even begin? I'm Amber.
And I'm Willis.
And this is Willis. And we don't even know how old we are these days, but 28.
28. Amber's 28. I'm 27, and we are the owners of the Cobalt Club here in
Auckland. So we own a boutique studio in Auckland, and I guess when we kind of backtrack on our journey, we met at 17 years old, so we're high school sweethearts. It's been 10 years, we went together 10 years, which is crazy at our age, I feel. But we had moved to Australia, just a quick little rundown. We moved to Australia together, and we're there for 7 years, which is wild. We were there, you played footy, we worked in the mines, I worked for my parents. There is what we both did actually, and this is where we first began or learnt our love for wanting to run our own business, or learnt about kind of the behind the scenes of how it all works. And then we were doing that, and then I started doing PT myself and managed an F45 studio over there. I did that. I fell pregnant. I then started just coaching out of our garage. And how did we get where we are? Oh my gosh, What went on then?
We don't really know. Well, I just started helping out Amber in the garage, and obviously I've always been around fitness and sport and stuff, so I know I love training. I love training myself as well. And then a few of the boys would be like, man, you'd be an unreal PT. So didn't really know, because I was in the trucking industry, so I was in something totally different. Didn't really know how it'd go. And then obviously had baby. We came up with the idea of moving home because we wanted a baby to have more family. And then we thought, obviously, for the love of working with Amber's parents, the love of owning your own thing, your own business. And so we're trying to think of an idea how to create our own thing. And then we came up obviously with Cobalt and a gym space, which is what we both love doing. We love training.
We love people. We're both really good people.
And we love seeing also people improve and work on themselves and how happy it makes them. So we thought, you know what, let's just give it a crack and move.
And we saw one thing we did see is we saw a gap in the market in New Zealand for something like what we do at Cobalt, which is one, very form focused. We could see that there's not enough out there with actual kind of education on how to do things properly, but then also just like a community or vibe like ours, or like what we do bring now. So we truly believe, I honestly believe this in every bone of my body, that we were going to be successful, and that what we had to offer was something great. And so we kind of just backed ourselves and used all our the way we were going to get married back then is crazy. This is so long ago. But used our wedding savings all on our gym, and we got
just
all the secondhand gear, packed a trailer, container. And
just moved, did the move, and because of that COVID obviously, so we couldn't come back and forth looking at properties or anything, so just backed ourselves, knew people over here to get us a property, and just went for it.
Wow,
that's kind of how we
that is crazy. Who inspired you both to start Cobalt?
Who inspired us?
I think not so much who. I think like we touched on before, I think what inspired us was to have our own thing. And we loved how seeing our parents obviously having their own thing. Obviously there's a lot of stress with it as well, but the freedom you have, the option you have to be your own boss as well. Personally, I don't like being told what to do. So obviously being my own boss is the best thing for me. So I think we obviously wanted to have our own thing, so that's how we came up the best thing.
And I guess if we think about who made up, maybe my parents, because we were around them so much. We sat at the dinner table
talking.
Oh
when
my
I think about
gosh.
it now, the amount of Amber would
I
leave the
hated it.
table.
I honestly
she did
hated
not
it.
like business talks, and I would just sit there for an hour after dinner just talking business with my father-in-law or our accountant who always used to stay with us too. I don't know. I think I was just always intrigued and just wanting to learn. That's the biggest
Yeah.
thing. I
We
always
felt like
want.
we could do it.
Yeah.
I feel like we were
Yeah.
sitting in those conversations and grateful that we were able to, but we felt like we could sit at this table, you know what I mean? We were capable and we could run our own business. So that obviously gave us the confidence to do it.
Yeah, that is awesome. And I think it's also, you know, when you think about it, you back yourself.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing that I'm getting is like, you know, you just were like,
We're
okay,
both like that.
Yeah,
Very much
backing
so.
yourself. In terms of backing yourself, has there ever been a time in your journey together where a project or situation it didn't go the way you planned, and how did you both navigate that together?
Yeah, there's been a few. Like it hasn't been all sunshine and rain, sunshine and whatever you call
Rainbows.
it. Rainbows.
Sunshine and
Sunshine and
rainbows.
rain?
Unicorns. One thing I can think of straight away was just the very beginning. So we missed a part. We didn't just come up with the gym. I actually Cobalt, and with a lot of people, I get a lot of questions about the name. I actually started. It was a sports bag brand. Cobalt was, and this is where I actually came up with a whole brand ethos and vibe that Cobalt still has now, but that was actually for our gym bags. And I just had this idea that I wanted to create these cool bags and I don't know.
For people to put their keys, because obviously she was working at F45, so you know how many people you go to a group training session, everyone just leaves the keys on phones on the desk.
Yeah.
So
They need a bag.
the whole idea was obviously just get a real cool bag, but not too big, something you can just pick up, chuck a couple of things in, and have a bag for it.
Yeah.
So that's
and so that's when how that came up around. Created these bags.
Sent it to a lot of influencers.
Yeah, and then didn't sell many bags, but what I learned, I also got a lot of bags. And
Still have some left, or still, and this is like 5 years.
But the
later
irony of it all is that the way it came around full circle, and I was giving the bags out free at the gym, was crazy. And I remember I trademarked Cobalt back then, and my mum said, she's like, Amber, we need to trademark Cobalt. And I was like, no, Mum, I'm not going to use it. Dumb, not going to. She's like, I'm going to do it. I was like, Mum, shush. The way it came around and when we decided we were going to do this gym, it all came together and it was called Cobalt. It was pretty crazy.
That is crazy.
It's a pretty crazy story. But yeah, so we
So I
learned
guess
from that.
navigating that together, Willis, were you just like, you got this, babe?
I'll back
Believe.
I'll back 100%.
Yeah,
and
I say me, but you're there the whole time, you know,
because
doing it with
like
me.
obviously I'm still working. It's not like this is not something. Obviously, it was a side business. There's another big thing too is we weren't stepping out of our jobs just to create this business that we hadn't even done yet. So it was a side business, so it wasn't not as much pressure. But so I was like, I got you 100%. If it fails, it fails. But if it pulls off, that's the thing. If it pulls off, man, it's even better.
And I do give that advice to a lot of people actually with your side hustles is try and do this alongside your normal, don't give up your day job just, until you have that like validity, is that how you say it? That it's going to actually work. So until you have proof that you're going to be able to make sales. So it wasn't the end of the world, but
yeah, definitely helps if you have a partner with you as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Just to support, just to bring you, I guess, get away from that space, bring you back down to normal life, Hey, babe, don't worry about it. It is what it is. We're here. We're still here. We're still eating. We're still family. So
and so in terms of this, how the way you guys speak together and how you're backing yourself constantly, if you both could go back in time, what would you tell your younger selves? Because I mean, have you always both been so like positive look on out like life, or is this something like what would you say to your younger selves?
Oh yeah, we're lucky we're both being quite confident. I used to be more cocky when I was called cocky back then, because obviously growing up,
same letter,
same letter, CC. Because obviously growing up rugby, and I was so confident, I was this, that. So I think I learned that from rugby as to be good at that game, you need to back yourself. If it pulls off, it pulls off. It's mean. If it doesn't pull off, you look like the silly fella who just chucked the ball around. So I think I got that from backing yourself then. And like at the end of the day, if you don't give it a crack, you'll never know. There's a lot of people get scared or almost scare themselves. Talk themselves out of it if they don't because they're worried about if it doesn't happen. If it doesn't.
So would you tell yourself to not be cocky?
No.
No.
Sorry.
So
Sorry, go
basically,
back to the
basically,
question.
you tell your younger self, learn the difference between confidence and cocky.
Actually, yeah, that's the one. That's the one. That's what I was trying to say here.
Oh man, it's actually going on. What about you, Amber?
For me, I would tell myself to slow down, to breathe, to not try. And this has been me since I was so young. I was always the kid who had the older friends, always trying to be older or more than I was. And that's definitely maybe in me still to want to always be a high achiever. I've got that mindset, which is great because I'm always wanting to do things with Cobalt and the business. But like the way I am almost 30 and I'm like, how did that time go? Just relax, time is going. So to be real, like I want to be more present, or I want to tell myself that, to take it slow.
Yeah.
My younger self and also my older self.
Slow
self.
down and also being confident, which is two things that I believe, in our whole journey, no matter if you're business owners or someone like myself, I do believe those two things are really important, confidence and slowing down, because with confidence, that whole thing comes with it. You got to back yourself.
You have to back yourself.
And this is also new for me. So I love we're all on this journey together, basically.
Yes.
It's new to, finding my way through this industry. And I guess, with what you're saying, slowing down as well. Learning the importance of slowing down and being present. So both of you, what are your views on self-improvement?
Self-improvement. Yeah, I feel... there's a couple ways you can think about that. I feel like we have definitely lately, especially with our challenge we have going on, we have really made it our focus to improve ourselves in different ways, not just with our fitness and our nutrition, but even in our habits that we're doing, in our reading, and actually like trying to upskill and level up. I'm doing a lot of readings at the moment about even investing, which is quite different and something that I've always kind of put off. But yes, I feel like you can always learn more. There's always the potential or capacity to be better, and if we can be better, let's be better. So I definitely always feel that way. And then there's also the other way that we talk about it in our challenge as well, that we have is the actual inner self-improvement. You could do the mental work that you can do, that we can all do, no matter how great, I often think I'm sweet and I'm not sweet, but being aware and actually breaking that down and sitting with yourself. We've done a bit of that together lately.
And just, I guess, knowing yourself and it might be finding out who you are and what's your why, and
being
what gets
honest
you,
and sitting down and working out why things may be happening like they're happening, and actually sitting with yourself. Truthful, I think. Hey, we've done a lot of that, and even little workshops or healing sessions that we both had has been really helpful in that. So I feel like it's first having that kind of awareness that needs to happen. And then,
and then just continuously do it.
Steps.
I love that. And it's actually, this is a full circle moment, because I was also a member of the Cobalt Club. And you know what? Both of you, to have you here and talk about that is actually where, for me, mindset growth started. And that's where I found the passion. And it was actually through one of your challenges that it was actually more than just, the usual gym challenge, lose weight, blah, blah, blah. It was almost like you were educating us in that sense of how you just said, it's like within yourself. And that's something that I am one that's all about that, all about the self-improvement and growing and learning.
How you feel. I think that's where I feel like maybe we came in with you as actually... And where we really try to make an impact with Cobalt is how we make people feel, and that feeling of, being loved or cared for or positive can really trickle into other parts of your life, because you love that feeling. We're attracted to feeling great. We want to feel great. So I'm glad that we made you feel like that.
And it's I'm honestly honoured to still have you here. And in my life, I continuously see you both. And in speaking about that, how do you both overcome setbacks? Like, life is not all pretty, and although we're doing this hard work within ourselves, we're going to be faced with setbacks. So how do you both overcome setbacks?
I think just like having each other obviously is easier, and working through it together. There's no even if if I'm going through something personally myself, just having
being a team,
a team, having your wife there to just to know that you can always, I guess, talk to and talk through, and you're gonna at the end of the day you're gonna get through it. Whether it's a financial setback, whether it's a personal relationship, whatever it is, you're gonna get through it. But just
having that person there is
and attacking it head on, it is what it is, and you find ways and work ways around that, little steps at a time
together. And I feel like for how Wills is good for me is I'm quite an emotional person. He's a very practical, literal person. It is what it is. This is how black and white, and I'm kind of like, I see all the different perspectives, and this person felt like this, and it's good to have two different personalities, I guess, because I'm the same for him, the opposite. So he doesn't. I
don't think about other people's feelings most of the time.
He doesn't think we'll see all the perspectives.
Okay, it's not that type of show, but no, kidding.
Like there's other perspectives, and I kind of can bring that and that mindset and education to him. So we're constantly challenging each other and helping each other through it.
I love that. And now this next question. It's a question I ask everyone that comes on Niu Journeys, and everyone meaning that you are both number two. With everything you both have experienced, do you believe that in order to live a good life, it comes about through health, friendships, or relationships? Or have we as a generation defined that the way to live a good life is fully dependent on your job title and the wealth you hold, which basically determines the life that you live?
Okay, so I feel like if we talk about a good life, I feel like a good life is a happy life, and happiness is different for everyone, but for me it is a lot to do with what's going on up here, so in your mind and the thoughts that we are having every day, what we are telling ourselves. I don't think we realize just how powerful our thoughts can be and how they control us. And you could be super successful or healthy, fit, spo, beautiful body, but you could still have negative thoughts or self-talk, and that's just not going to make you happy. So I think it's figuring out, or actually, when we then talk about thoughts, how do we have positive thoughts? We've got to be honest with ourselves and sit in that space again. What is making us feel like how we're feeling? And then you talk about the people we're around, the energy. It's that too. Energy is real. It's creating. The people we're around could make us. We feed off those. People, you can have positive people, and you can, we feel it. You can know how some people you're around, you just feel incredible, and some people make you feel not so much. So it's that sort of thing as well. I think being aware of how much that can impact your thoughts. I think I don't think we think as much about. I think our thoughts are so much more important than we think in our happiness.
You're so right, because I think, the missing ingredient that we have in this generation is the importance of the mind.
Yes.
And I feel like, so many people are just like, we see on social media, we're like, they've got this, they've got that, I want that. But really, they could be having the most worst day ever. And we would, and we're just constantly comparing ourselves. Whereas if we're like, nah, we're good. We sweep up. Like, we're fine. Like, I feel like that is what you just said. It's huge.
It's like being content with yourself. Being happy with where you are.
But then it's the expectations that we have on ourselves from other people. We put those pressures on ourselves. So,
and that's all thoughts.
It's all thoughts. Whatever. We can change that.
Like, no one, even if, you might be getting pressure from someone else or the parents, but you can control that through your mind, however
you don't have to
take
feel that if you choose not to.
Like,
and
you tell yourself, you want to be happy, you want to be happy. If you want to be sad, you be sad. Like, that's you controlling you.
But it's figuring out how you can do that too, and what is it that is making you feel that certain way. But I think you're right, the mind is so we need to be putting more emphasis on that than just the physical aspects 100%. Of it.
And I know we keep going back to Cobalt, but it's awesome that in your challenge you've also incorporated that as well. And I think that's huge, that we're starting to bring light and awareness that this is actually something that's really important. To live the life that we want to live is a happy life, and a happy life starts when it's almost like your brain is the garden. You got to water it, you got to feed it, you got to grow it.
Be true to yourself and actually know yourself, have that self-awareness. What how am I feeling? What is making me feel like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there any habits, routines, or rituals that you both do as a couple together or individually that help you navigate your way through life?
Number one's working out. We have to work out, and it's nice when we work out together as well, which is amazing. But also, we have to work out every single day. Doesn't matter what it is. But for me personally, I'm an early morning. I never used to be, but I'm an early morning person, and I love the way I feel when I'm up at a crazy time. It was like 3 o'clock or whatever, walking.
That's too early.
Walking on the stairmaster, but just the way I feel from that, like, it's unreal. Like, I'm just awake, positive. Obviously, all the endorphins are running, and then what it does for me is I'm coming into work, I'm not tired, and I'm giving out great energy for my clients, because I got to think that's number one. So I need to be in that headspace. So that's what drives me to get up that early. So I'm in that headspace for my clients, because I'm going to provide them the best that I can be. So that's my little morning routine.
He also cleans the house every day.
Yeah, cleaner. I love a clean space, and I know my wife loves a clean space, so that drives me even more.
Like
You are crazy.
Yeah.
No, kidding. What about you?
For me, probably working out is my number one. That's probably the one thing, and then the nutrition. That's the two things that I know if I don't do, I'm off and I'm grumpy, or it really affects how I'm feeling. So when I'm feeling good in my body, in my mind, and feeling that I'm prepared my meals or have done my training, then I'm a much nicer person.
Yes, she is.
Man, that is crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
the 3 a.m. wake up's ridiculous. No, kidding. That works for you. That is awesome. But I do actually believe to starting your day right, whatever that looks like.
Definitely.
And with the training aspect too, like, I think you're already teaching yourself that mindset growth, and it's the way you talk to yourself already, like you're already talking to yourself in such a positive way to get up, you got to do this, you got to do that, and it's no longer now become a chore where you're like, oh goodness, I have to get up. It's like,
and he
I
tells
want
me
to get up.
He tells me that too. I'm just like, babe, you don't need to wake up at 3. And he's like, but I feel so good. Why wouldn't I? And I'm like, okay, period.
Yeah.
Keep doing that.
That is so good.
It's not easy. I'm telling you, that ain't easy. It's not easy, but yeah, it's just
You
once
gotta
you
be
get
like
hooked on
lemon.
that feeling, like, this is the best.
And I have seen that there is this thing about Willis bringing energy at early hours of the morning to all your clients, and I'm not going to lie, I feel the energy when I wake up at like 7 hours after you. But
I got
you know
I
what? I still feel it. I'm like, dang, he's on. And so now, with everything that you both know, in this whole journey you've done together, a family, Willis, you've spoken upon your rugby career. You're also pregnant. You had baby, Romy. He's no longer a baby anymore. My goodness, he's growing. And with the business, everything that you guys have both been through, what is your look and view towards life now?
I feel like that it is a journey, that it is hopefully a long journey, that life is not going to be linear. We're going to have ups and downs through hardships, and I think knowing that we have to be very truthful the whole time, being real, being aware of where we're at, where we need to be, want to be, and how we can kind of navigate that together as a couple, as a family as well. So looking back on where I wouldn't change anything, over the years. Everything has been amazing, but just
It's always you're just learning the whole time, on this journey. Like, I know the stuff now that I wouldn't have known when we first started this, and I'm grateful for that. I love this. Like, it might be hard at sometimes, but I love it. I thrive it, and I love, because I know that I've just learned something that I didn't know, and I've learned how to be a better person. Like, just being better.
And when things do go hard or go wrong, or you're going through a hard time, that like the beauty of that is that you're going to learn from it. Like, what have we learned from that? And that's really exciting now. And I've got that outlook. Like, when I get pretty down about something, or something bad happens, I realize that, like, oh, okay, what can I take from this? How can I learn? How can we, improve from this? Or
and it's cool being able to do it together, because all the stuff that we have been through that have been pretty down, like, it makes us even stronger once we get over it, and I know that's always going to happen, and I love that. And our love just keeps growing longer and stronger. Sorry, and we learning at the same time. So. Yeah.
And when you're going to be with someone for a long time, I think that it's just being okay with that, or understanding that you're going to do this together and it's a partnership, and it's all going to be okay, really.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's been an honor and a pleasure to have you both here on the show this morning. And I am just always amazed at how you both navigate your way through life, which is what I said at the beginning. And I know that, you are doing such awesome work out there in the community. And I love the aspect and the angle that you both have come in with your challenge in your gym and your business, in terms of focusing on their mind and growing people within, inside and outside. And I just know that you're going to continue to inspire people. You continue to inspire me every single day. But it's been an absolute pleasure, and thank you both so much for joining us, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Appreciate
having
it.
us.